FlossTube. My name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Today is, why do I pause every time when I get to this point? Today is Thursday, May the 5th, and this is FlossTube number 16 for me. Welcome back. I'm so happy to see you all. I meant to be back here earlier than today. I really try every time to hit that 2-week mark, and I guess I'm a 3-week kind of floss tuber. I don't know. I keep trying. Hope it's not TMI, but I did injure my shoulder. And so I've been having to go to PT, and that's just kind of like put everything kind of in an uproar. Plus, my son he's graduating next week, and you know, we have all these end of the year functions, and we had a mother-son brunch, and we've got band concerts and band banquets and baccalaureate, and he has exams, and so there's just so much going on. But I'm happy to say that he did make a college decision prior to the May 1st enrollment deadline, so I'm very excited for him. He's going to be attending Rhodes College in the fall, and that is a wonderful university that's located right here in Memphis, and so yay, we're super excited for him. He is going to study philosophy and get all that knowledge in that brain and then head off to law school. That's the game plan now, and he's a freshman, so who knows what will happen. But we're very excited with about his school choice, and looking forward to seeing what all he gets up to. I'm going to insert a picture here of him with his college ball cap on. They do this fun thing at school where they pick a day or whatever, and all the boys wear their sports coats and their baseball cap, and they take a big picture together, the senior class does, and then they do a video and just kind of feature each boy and what school they've decided to go to. So it's very exciting. So let's see what else is going on. I feel like that's about it. Just been busy, like I said, with the physical therapy on the shoulder, and I've been working and doing kid stuff. My daughter's she's doing good. We are getting ready to go down to the beach at the end of the month, so I'm like, got the beach chairs out the other day. We're making sure everything was okay, because for some reason I thought we broke one of them last year, and I had a note like that I needed to get another one, but I think it was actually from the year before, because all the beach chairs look fine. They need to be kind of brushed off, and I was thinking some of them had some stuff on them, like, I mean, okay, this is way out there, sorry y'all, but like they're the Tommy Bahama beach chairs, and they have these nice zipper pockets on the back. The problem is like the sand gets in there, and it gets kind of encrusted around the zipper, and so I kind of want to hose them all down before we go down there and get like all the sand off and get all those zippers working good. And I'm not sure if like a mix of vinegar and water would be good for something like that. If anyone has any suggestions, some of them have some little dirt spots on them as well. But if anyone has any good suggestions on what they do to their chairs every year, let me know down in the comments. Let's see. So what else has been going on? I guess I have some finishes. I have an FFO, I have a finish, I have lots of WIPS, I have new starts, I have Garon Designer Focus, I have WIPCO, I've got Mira May coming. I'm in Mira May now. Some ideas for some other stuff that I want to stitch this month. I've been just, like I said last time, just stitching to my little stitchy heart's content. Sometimes I'm following the rules I've made up, and sometimes I'm not. Like, we were having an interesting discussion the other night on Instagram, in a group chat that I'm in, and one of my friends said, you know, I don't know. I made mention that like I'm stitching Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and it's a really big Halloween piece, and I have Halloween, but also like autumny, and so I have a few more projects that I want to start. Like I have Witch's Hollow by the Primitive Needle, and Kathy Barrick's Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, or yeah, Carrot House samplings. And so, but those kind of are like very similar projects for me, like when I think of a project, like they're big, similar colors. Just so basically what I'm getting is I don't want them all going at once. Like I want to finish my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow before I start one of those two, was the discussion that I was having. And another one of my friends was basically like, yeah, I know, I don't want to start this until I do this and this. And somebody else chimed in and they're like, well, I feel like this about this. And so I was like, isn't it amazing or interesting, maybe these restrictions and plans we put on ourselves? Like, I mean, nobody's telling us what to do or how to do, but somehow everybody's got their own little inner workings that say, I want to do this, or I don't want to do this. Or like me, I also I always want to have an RATM going. I have, I think if I don't have all of them, I have almost all of like her fairy tale Quakers. And so until I'm through stitching those, until she's through putting those out, or what, I always want to have one of those going. So, you know, but I don't want to have more than one of those going. So why that makes sense to my brain and maybe not somebody else's, or just how we kind of come up with those things, I think is just super interesting. So I would be interested to hear that my friends and I are not alone. So if you have any sort of self-imposed restrictions that you put upon yourself, or just like plans that you kind of live or go by, and you don't mind sharing them in the comments, I would love to see what you all think about that. So sorry, that was kind of a tangent. but we were just literally having this discussion the other night, and I just think it's really interesting, and it sounds like something, a common Stitcher thing, you know. Like I said, like nobody told me that. Like I have them, I have those charts, and I have at least one of them partially kitted up. So I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just something that I've made up myself. So let's start off with my FFO. I'm super excited about this FFO. I'm going to start by saying, if you are attending StitchCon Weekend A and you're going to be in the Smalls Exchange and you do not want to see what I'm going to be entering in the Smalls Exchange, then fast forward a couple minutes, because that's what I'm going to show. I'm going to show my StitchCon Weekend A finish for the Smalls Exchange. For those of you that may not be familiar with StitchCon, StitchCon is a stitchy retreat put on annually by Keepsakes, which is located up outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. Their tagline, or their kind of like skew for this theme, okay, for the StitchCon is we're like FlossTubers and the Stitchy FlossTuber people who watch it, fans can meet, you know, and get together. And so you'll have people who do FlossTube there and people who don't do FlossTube there, but there are a lot of FlossTubers that attend. So this is a retreat that happens every year. I will say, even if you're not going to be attending StitchCon, if you will go to the StitchCon website, which I will link in my description box below, Stephanie has posted a list of all of the FlossTubers that are going to be attending StitchCon this year. StitchCon is held in 2 weekends with a maximum of 300 attendees per weekend. So it's like 600 people. And that's like a decent amount of FlossTubers going. And what she has done is, if the FlossTubers wanted them or want the information posted, she has posted like FlossTubers, the names of all the FlossTubers, and links to their channels. So even if you're not attending StitchCon, it's a great way to go get some exposure to some FlossTubers that you might not have heard before. Because I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I do, especially I was off work for a little bit, get caught up on all of my regulars, and then I'm kind of looking for somebody new, or somebody, and not necessarily like, and nothing against FlossTube number one, but I'm not necessarily looking for a FlossTube number one. I'm looking for somebody else to binge, because I like to binge. But anyway, all right, so let's get back to, they do a Smalls Exchange every year. I think the requirements are like, maybe it's 6 inches or less. And what they do is they ask you to wrap it in a way that is themed, so that like if the person doesn't stitch Halloween or Christmas or isn't a patriotic person, then they wouldn't necessarily go for that that piece to take home with them. So you're supposed to just kind of theme it to what you have. So I'm not sure how I'm going to package mine yet, but I do know that I have it, and I have it stitched, and I sent it up to Keepsakes to be FFO'd, and they so graciously got it back to me very quickly. And so I've got some goodies to go with it, and I'm very excited about it. In fact, I'm so excited about it, I'm going to stitch it again for myself and send it off to be FFO'd again at Keepsakes. And I have it kitted up like with my same stuff, but I can't find it. Like I was looking and I'm like, what bag? Where is, what? And I just didn't want to dig through everything because I didn't think about it till I was about to sit down and film, and I'm like, I'm not digging that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a picture up of the chart that I'm talking about so that you know what it is when I show you. But all right, so my smalls exchange piece for Keepsakes is this pretty little drum. It's called, the chart is called Forget Me Not, and it's by Summer House Stitchwork. Isn't it so sweet? Oh, I had so much fun stitching it. It's stitched on a chalkboard linen, which was not the easiest thing I've done. It's not my fave, but this velveteen here on the bottom and the top is Lady Dot Creates. It's Peapod. I'll kind of hold it up closer. These two little pins I also ordered from Lois at Lady Dot Creates from her Etsy site. I did do French knots for all the little forget-me-nots. And yeah, really, this is definitely right up my alley. So I really enjoyed stitching this. It wasn't really that hard to stitch because the border is it's repetitive. And there wasn't a whole lot to it. This is like a little baby. And that's really cute. And I'm so happy with it. And they did such a great job. I wish you can't feel it, but it's like, it's nice and firm and it's not lumpy, which is what would have happened if I tried to do this. The velveteen is gorgeous. The pins just worked perfect and I love it. I love it. And I'm so excited. And I hope that whoever gets it at the Smalls Exchange loves as much as I do, because like I said, I'm going to restitch this. I still have enough floss and plenty of fabric and the chart. So anyway, that's Forget Me Not by Summer House Stitchwork. Beautiful. Thank you, Keepsakes crew. I don't know exactly the name of the person that finished it or who did that, but they're great. Well, I'm gonna stick that back up here in the meantime. Okay, so that was my FFO. I do also have an FO. That is oh sorry if you didn't know, FFO, fully finished object. And this one is an FO, just a finished object, because it's not been fully finished meaning ready to be displayed. It is gonna be framed. So I finished, and I can't show you this chart either, so I'm gonna pop a picture in of this chart. This is Miss New Year's Fairy by Nora Corbett. Isn't she pretty? Yay. I am super excited to have her done. I stitched her on a 32 count raw silver. This is not she came as a kit, and these holiday fairies do come as kits. This is not the called for linen. The called for linen was raw, but Rocio of Cocohama Stitchery, she stitched hers on the silver, and I actually asked her exactly what she stitched it on because I loved her so much. So look at that fabric. Look at this fairy. I just want to say she had a considerable amount of beading. A lot of Krynic too, like the whole watch clock face is Krynic. There's Krynic in her wings. There's some on the laces of her shoes. But the beading is really what surprised me. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like her whole dress, all of those are all beads. Like these ribbons, they're beads. Everything is super shiny, super blingy. I loved it. I love her. I am so happy she is done. Yes, Miss New Year's Fairy. She is my first Nora Corbett that I started. I started her last year right around Easter. So I did keep up with her on one of those project cards. It looks like I took about 15 days to finish her. 15 sittings. So I love her. She's beautiful. I am gonna have her framed. I think I'm gonna take her, I'm gonna send her up to excuse me, Paulette Craft Gallery. I'll let her frame her. But those were my finishes. I'm happy to have her done. So that's 2 Noras I've gotten done. I got done in April. All right, what's up next? I'm gonna show you a finish for now, FFN. I am stitching Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I am stitching this chart with my friends LeAnn of Forbidden Fiber Co. She's LeAnn Stitches, Bobby of Pumpkin Creek Primitives, and Sam of Sammie Liz. They all have floss tubes. I will link all their stuff below. Go check them out. This is the chart we're stitching. It is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, designed by Kathy Barrett. Carriage House Samplings actually has a whole line of charts based upon Hawk Run Hollow, just in case you've never heard of them before. They're usually pretty big charts, and a lot of them are like in blocks like this, but they have one that's like autumn and Christmas and towns and shores and a map and a year, and I mean, they're really cool. So if you ever just want to go check those out, they are worth a look. I participate in a monthly Zoom run by Pam of Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. That's her floss tube, and she owns a needlework store that's recently been opened up in Massachusetts, Stitch New England, and she hosts that every month. And so I attend that Zoom as long as I'm not working. And then the girls and I that do this one together, the smaller group, we try to Zoom once a month. Our hashtag, if you'd like to join us, is Halloween at HRHSal. If you'd like to join us or post to it or follow along, you are welcome to. But there's so I have stitched blocks, and I started up here 1, 2, and then this month I finished 3 and got a little tiny start on 4. So let me just show you where we're at. So that's why I'm calling it my finish for now, because I finished a block. Sorry, I'm dropping Miss New Year's Fairy. So here we are. This is stitched on a 32 count Heather by Picture This Plus. I think it's a super cool piece of fabric. It's like purple and dingy, and I love it. I've got block 1, 2, 3. So my most recent finish is block 3, the Headless Horseman. This is my friend Carrie, one of the 3 Trail Stitchers. They have a floss tube too. That's her favorite, with the Headless Horseman. It's kind of funny. I was stitching this, and I'm like, you know how you're just stitching along and thinking to yourself about what you're stitching. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what color his flag is. Not a flag, Sarah. That's what I sure thought when I was stitching along. I wonder what color his flag is. That's kind of a dangerous flag. And then I got a little bitty start on some border and the corner right there of block 4. But yeah, so my semi-secret goal is to try to get a block done every month. So I got this one done in April, and this one done in March, and this one took forever because I kind of didn't have that goal then, but now I've kind of got it. So I've been working on it. We'll see if I can keep it up, because there's a lot going on. I will stitch on it every month, but I don't know if I'll get a block done every month. So it lives in my super cute Garon tote bags, little spooky bag, my favorite project bags. I love them, so cute. All right, up next, well, now we're talking about Garon tote bags. So they're Garon Stitchery. That is an online needlework store. They started a thing called Garon Designer Focus. Gary from Garon Tote Bags is a member of the Sunshine Stitchers, and you can check them out every weekend. They do a wonderful floss tube, Gary and EJ and Sheila. And Garon Stitchery has a group. Oh, I cannot believe I just dropped that. Okay, they have a group that Zooms every week. And I've really been enjoying this group and getting to know everybody. Everybody's fabulous. Hello, everyone, if you watch. And so they discussed and they decided they were going to do, I don't know how it exactly started. It might have been just between Sunshine Stitchers, but it kind of morphed into the group, I believe. I might be getting the story wrong, so I'm just going to skip to the part that they have input on, the like group mentality, right? Everybody was kind of putting input on what designer they were going to focus on every month. So every month they focused on a designer. You work on it during the Zoom, you work on it whenever you want to work on it. And then Garon Stitchery also runs a special on the charts of that designer that they have in their store. So Last month, the Garon Designer focus was ink circles. And so I started my first ink circles, and I'm going to have to post a picture of it because the chart went sliding off down there on the floor, and I'm not going to get up and disturb the whole situation going on in here that you cannot see. But so I started Cocoa Time by Ink Circles. Super cute. Actually, I don't think it's been out that long. Maybe it came out last year, but I'm going to post it up here so you can see it. Take a look at it. And I did not finish it, but I got a good little bit done. There's my progress. That's fun. It's about half of it because there's the other half kind of just basically mirrors this, and then there's just stuff across the bottom. But isn't it cute? My husband gave me this kit and all the goodies for my birthday, and so it's all called for floss and fabric, and I think it's a 32 count linen. Yeah, and isn't that cute? That's my little minion needle miner my daughter brought me back from our honeymoon. Well, he was a pin and I turned him into a needle miner, but yeah, I love it. I love it. I'll probably get that out again closer to Christmas, but it also lives in a super cute Garon Tote Bags bag of the month. All right, so this month designer focus for Garon designer focus, hashtag Garon designer focus, is Blackbird. So they want you to stitch on all your Blackbird. So I actually have 2 Blackbird WIPs. So I pulled out my oldest Blackbird WIP to start with. So for the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm going to stitch on this one. Second 2 weeks of the month, I'm going to stitch on the other one. This one it lives in this book, Souvenirs of Summer. It's a great book. There's a lot of good ones in here. And this is the one that I'm doing. It's called Summer Jubilee. Isn't that pretty? Gary's going to do that one too. He might have already been doing that one. He found a really cool sub for the fabric. The fabric is called for is 18th Century Blackbird by R&R, which I just happened to get a piece of when Fire to Poppies was closing, but I'd already started this, so Gary found a good one. But here we are. Here's my progress on Summer Jubilee. It's fun. The reason why I remember this is because this was my first alphabet I ever started stitching. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Twilight Blue. It's a Witchelt. And I'm using the called for floss, which I believe is a bunch of Gentle Arts. Yeah, it is. And you might be noticing my weird little date situation down here. So when I started stitching this last summer, I stitched that date in there, and I stitched in exactly what the chart said, which I believe is 2004. And then when I pulled this back out to start stitching on it again, I'm like, what does 2004 mean to me? So, I mean, I took the 04 out, and then I was just going to put it in 2022. So I put in 22, and then I started looking at it, and I'm like, okay, that 2, it looks good. The second 2 in 22, it looked good, but it was like too close to where this urn or whatever at the bottom is going to be. So it's just, everything's just kind of hanging out right there until I get the urn stitched, and then I'll figure out where I'm going to put the other 2. But yeah, it's fun. I think this butterfly and the wings, I don't know if you can see it. When I stitched that last year, those are like those eyelet stitches. And they might be Algerian eyelets. But yeah, the colors are pretty. I love it. That's what I am working on now. All right. Let's skip on to, when it goes to plans, I'll show you the other Blackbird I'm going to work on for the next couple weeks. Let's skip on to WIP Go. WIP Go is an idea that Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff FlossTube came up with. If you want to learn more about that, you can head on over to her FlossTube and check that out. But basically, there's a bingo board. You put goals on pieces you want to stitch in every month. She calls a couple numbers. They correlate to what you've put on your board. And like I said, you set your own goals. My goals were like 4 days a month to stitch on. I haven't been doing great this year. I've just been stitching what I want to stitch. So I haven't been very successful, but this month I did get some stitches in on both of my WIP Goes. So One of my WIP goes that was called was Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. And so I chose to do my Long Dog Sampler because that was also Gear Designer Focus of the Month was ink circles or Long Dog Sampler. So killing two birds with one stone, you know, that sort of thing. So my Long Dog Sampler that I'm working on is Opening Gambit. I know last FlossTube I was calling it Queen's Gambit because if you haven't watched that show on Netflix, it's a good one. But this one's called Opening Gambit. And I am stitching this for my son to celebrate his high school graduation. I have the tiniest of starts started. So yeah, since he's graduating next week, the finish is not going to happen, but eventually he'll get it, and I'll say this is to commemorate your high school graduation, son. But so anyway, I did get some done. Here we are. I'm kind of, where am I? I'm on this middle piece right here. I started right about there, so I'm going up. Yeah, so this is I think it's a 40 count. Oh, let's see. 40 count antique white, yeah. Nothing exciting there. I am using some pretty cool floss. It is a Silks For You Hank. It is PR something. PR068. Because when originally I thought I was just going to do this in black. And then I talked to my son about it and he was like, why don't we do it in red? And I'm like, I don't know. That would be like a lot of red. But anyway, we compromised on this. This is, it comes up kind of purpley looking. It's not as purple as it comes up on the video. It is more red. I mean, it does have purple to it, but anyway, these are beautiful. When this silk came, it came in one of those big, round, huge hanks. I didn't really know how to manage it. If you're interested in figuring out how to make these into these little manageable, cute skeins where I just can take my needle and just pull off one thread at a time as I need and I don't have to untie or undo anything and nothing gets caught, head on over to Teresa Little Stitcher. I'll put her in my FlossTube drop down box below. She has a tutorial on how you can make that happen at home for yourself, and that's exactly what I did. Like, I had her on the TV, I had this on my table, I was like pausing, follow along, pausing, follow along. So anyway, that was fun. Yeah, good way to tame those silks though. I think it's great. So I'm leaving this on the Q-snap because I would like to get some more stitches in on that. We will see. My other WIP Go poll for the month was a Fancy Folk poll. So I chose to work on Trick or Treat Fairy by Nora Corbett. Trick or Treat Fairy is available on the Kirshner's website. It's only a couple dollars for this one. That's where you can find it. There she is in all her glory. I'm actually stitching her with LeAnn Forbidden Fiber Co. We started this on Halloween this past year. We love her, and she is the reason why we were able to purchase the large cone of blue Kreinig blue ice at Market. And LeAnn actually brought me some to our 901 Stitchers get together this past weekend. So I've got plenty to work on my Trick or Treat Fairy, which let's talk about our 901 Stitchers. 901 Stitchers is a group we have. Stitchers in Memphis and the surrounding areas. We meet once a month at Stitchers Inc. in Memphis. I'll pop a little picture up below. Anyone in our area is welcome to join. We have a Facebook group as well. And if you are ever traveling through from out of town and you just happen to hit us up when we're having a get together, come on in. We would love to meet you. All right, so 901 Stitchers. It was great. We just got together this past Saturday. Yep, we had fun. I brought my FFOs, so I got to show everybody those and pass those around. And I just asked other people to bring some too. And Veronica brought some really pretty little tiny stitches. I mean like stuff that you would see like almost like over one stitches, and we talked about stitching over one because I'll get to that with y'all later, but she gave me some good tips for stitching over one, and her stuff was gorgeous. And we had another woman, oh my gosh, You're wonderful. Your name has completely just gone out of my brain, but she stitches the coolest stuff, okay? She had this whole Dungeons and Dragons, like blackwork piece. She chooses really cool, she stitches off her iPad. She chooses really cool, like, stuff on your bright, sparkly fabrics. I want to call you Micah, but I don't think that's right. I'm so sorry. You know who you're great. In what? Brainless. That's why Michelle is going to make us little name cards for next time, because I can't keep up with everybody's names. I am not the best at that. I try really hard, but anyway, so some of us brought in stuff to show, like, that we had stitched before, and that was really fun to look at people's stuff that they had finished, and really enjoyed that. So anyway, back to WIPGO, and my poll was Halloween Fairy. So I did get, like, I think 2 days in on her, so I made a good bit of progress. Last time you saw her, she did not say trick or treat. I think I just had the R done, and that is done in a beautiful, beautiful garnet colored Kreinik. I know I'm like always talking about the Kreinik, right? But I want to show you this Kreinik if I have it. Well, I might have it out there in my stitchy spot, but so if I can't show you that particular Kreinik, I can show you another one. This one is really red, but oh, see how shiny? The garnet one is equally as pretty, and now I really feel like I need to find that. That's gonna bother me. But anyway, so I got the trick or treat done, and I got a lot more of her skirt done, which I was doing her skirt on something. Oh yes, Pam Stitching and Landed Good Enough. She also hosts a Fancy Folk Zoom once a month. And when I was stitching on this the other night, I didn't get to get in there till almost the end, but her skirt was getting on my nerves so bad, y'all. The different colors in her skirt are showing up really well on camera, but in real life, there's not much of a difference. It's a very subtle. So that was kind of giving me the blues trying to figure that out and not miscount. But isn't she great? I love her. I'm stitching her on a piece of 32 count Garden Party by Brandy at Stitch Me. This is one of my favorite Stitch Me pieces of linen ever. That green that you're seeing is a very pronounced on the camera, but it's much more subtle in real life. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. I would like to have her done before Halloween next year. I mean, that would be fun. And she's an enjoyable stitch, so I don't really see that being a problem. You know, how you like stitching on the stuff that tend to spend a little bit more time on it. I don't mean that there's stuff that really I stitch on that I don't like, but some stuff is, to me, a little bit more work than the other. Like, say, that long dog I was just doing, even though I don't have to change any colors and I stick the same color, it does on 40 count. It is a lot of counting, and it's just maybe not as relaxed stitching as something like this. So, all right, let me see where I am on my notes here. New starts. Yes, let's talk about new starts. Okay. My first new start I would like to talk about was so fun. Started this last weekend. Started this on a Zoom. Oh, I'm gonna have to put the picture up. So this, what you should be seeing, is Miss Thurza Priscilla Dawes, 1870. This was charted by Julie. Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World is the name of her FlossTube and her Instagram. And then she charted her under the name of her Stitchy company is Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. And so she collaborated with, or got some help. She's a first time reproduction sampler charter, and she's friends with Karen and Brendan of Fox and Rabbit Fabric Designs. And so they gave her some input, and you know, they're all very invested in the project. I guess that's the best way to say it. And so to celebrate her new chart, Karen and Brendan hosted a Zoom, and it was so fun. Julie was there, Karen and Brendan were there, my friend Justine from X's and Hoes was there, my friend Alexis, My Amazing World was there, Sarah from the Steel City Stitchers Retreat was there, Julie was there. I'm probably missing somebody else that I'm sorry, but anyway, it was really fun. We got to go around, and there was someone there from the UK. And so when we had it, you know, time zone math is like mind blowing. So it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday for me. It was Sunday morning down in Australia for Karen and Brent and the other people from Australia that were on. It was like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning for the lady in the UK. I mean, like, we were all over the place. So, but it was really fun. We had a great time. We went around, introduced ourselves, talked about whether we chose the bright or the more muted aged colorway. So I've chosen the bright, and then we all went around and talked about like what fabric we chose, and it was really nice. So this is my little start on Thursday Priscilla Dawes. I love it. I'm stitching her on a 32 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. I love it. Also, Laura was on, and she is stitching this as well on Duxbury, but hers looked so different from mine. Hers was just different, like a different color and like more speckly. And Brendan said that my piece was dyed on a cold day. So that was kind of cool. I appreciated him, just saying that. That was just kind of something interesting. I chose the bright colorway, and what I was thinking of, I thought it would look so good on this fabric because this fabric kind of reminds me of, if you've ever seen any of the art from Mexico, Latin America, or Central America, with the very bright colors like this. And then if you've ever seen it on the brown, it almost looks like a paper bag, but it's like a dark, really pretty dark brown color. It sort of gave me the same vibe. So I knew the colors would look really, really good. So I love it. I love it. That's my little tiny baby start. We're gonna get together again next month. If you're interested in joining that Thursday Zoom, Karen and Bren, Fox and Rabbit, if you go to their FlossTube and go down to their description box, or even go to their website, that you can sign up for it. And it's no charge or anything like that. You have to like check out or whatever, but there's no charge. So yeah, it's great. That's my needle minder from Matt, the MBC Stitcher, Matt Boy Corgi Stitcher. He's on FlossTube as well. In fact, when we were showing our pieces, Justine went first, like in the line. They were just skipping around or whatever. And she had her Matt needle minder on, and then I had mine on too. And I think it was Karen was like, that's like the second needle minder I've seen like that, because Matt gave us these really cool agate needle minders. Aren't they beautiful? Thanks, Matt. And anyway, so yay, we had a great Zoom. But so you're welcome to join if you want to stitch Thursday with us. Come on, it was a great group. We had fun. She's not off the Q snap because I do have hopes to get some more X's in on her. I mean, at least get this pot or urn or whatever these flowers are sitting in finished before I show back up for the next Zoom. All right, another new start that I had, and I was so excited to start this one, y'all. I started Serena Sprout by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Ah, isn't she beautiful? I think she's so cool. I don't know if you remember or if I said, I just don't have a lot of spring flowery stuff. Probably because it's just not necessarily always my jam, but this really appealed to me. Aaron, he's fabulous. He does such a great job designing and the colors, and I love her. And I believe I heard a rumor that Serena Sprout, she's going to be in the other seasons as well, which I love that. I love a series. Okay, so I'm stitching her on the called for fabric, which is Friendship Green by Fabrics by Stephanie. This is a 28 count that I was able to get, and I haven't stitched on 28 count in a while, but a lot of Mira's like 28 count, so I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Here we go. That's what I've got done. Isn't that so fun? Super cute grime guard by my friend Lolly of Lollipop Stitches. She has a store that sells project bags, you name it. Another awesome needle minder by my friend Colleen of Rebel Stitches, Rebel Stitcher Designs. You can check her out. But let's look at the stitching here. I got Serena Sprout. That's her hair. That's like her bosom and her waist. That's her face and her hair coming down. I got a hand coming out to the side. So yeah, I made some good progress on her for a new start. I am really, really enjoying her. So fun. I can't wait to get that hat. Cannot wait to get that hat on. Yeah, and get to this flower. I love this flower over here. So yeah, she's living in a super springy Gear on Totem Bags bag with the cute little jelly beans inside. Ronnie made a good choice on that one. Okay, another new start. I started this on the 25th of last month because I do Mary 25 stitching. What I'm doing this year is I had grand aspirations last December. I wanted to stitch all the Christmas, and of course I didn't start barely any of it. I completely derailed by doing something else. So what I'm doing this year on the 25th of every month is I'm doing a new Christmas start of things that I already had kitted up and ready to go. So I love this one. This is by one of my favorite designers, Lori Brecklin of Not Forgotten Farm. And this is Parson Brown. That's who I started. I love it. I love this. I mean, I love any kind of chart that you can sing in your head, right? So, I'm stitching this on a 32 count Joblin London Fog. And that's where I got, in the meadow, we can build a snowman. Yep. Very cute Grinch needle minder by Cricklewood Crossing. Love that. So that's my start. And I want to get some more stitches on it. I don't know if I'm going to though. It's living in my very cute Erica bag. Erica of the Steel City Stitchers made these and sold these at the retreat this year. So nice. I love this scene. It's perfect. All right. Perfect. Well, and see, I was trying to explain to Zan. Zan's gonna make me something. And Zan and Michelle and I were talking when we were leaving the other day, leaving Stitchers. And this is the vintage fabric I was talking about, ladies. They were like not getting, I was not using my words well. I was not explaining like what my kind of aesthetic was as far as looking for vintage style fabrics. Not that they're really that old, but like this era. I love this. So fun. So fun. Okay. Now, what do I have next? All right, I have my last new start. It's gonna kind of like lead right into what I need to talk about. Not really. Unless I skip ahead. Whatever, y'all don't care. All right, so my last new start is Mermaid of the Pearls. Woo! Mermaid of the Pearls by Mirabilia. She is an out of print chart that I was able to find in an online Mirabilia Facebook group. I love her. I can't wait to stitch her. The first time I saw her stitched was Cassandra of Autumn Lane Stitchery. She, maybe their first or second FlossTube, might have been their first. She showed hers, I think. Yeah, but yeah, and I love her. I love her. So I got the tiniest start on her. I've got a little fin going on down here, but she is in the Q-snap because she is going to get some work this month during Mira May. I'm stitching her on a 32 count Kelpie by Under the Sea Fabrics. She's going to be gorgeous. That super cute needle minder there of Pudge is by Otter Rose. You'll find them on Etsy, O-T-T-E-R, Rose. I'll put her information down in the description box below. I too want to show you some of the fancy stuff that goes with Mermaid of the Pearls. Just standard DMC colors. All right. And she has 2 Kreinicks. That's pretty. Very pretty. A fancy treasure that was hard for me to find, actually. Found that on eBay. That heart, isn't that pretty? And then, I'm not going to get them all out, but she has like tons. You see those big pearls and those littles, and ooh, look at these. You see those? Just she's gonna be just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So she is one of my charts that I'm gonna be stitching on for Mira May, which is something I'll talk about pretty soon. So that's why she's in the Q-snap. All right, that was it for new starts. Let's talk about some WIPS. Let's talk about some WIPS, and then we have a giveaway to go over, and then we have plans, and we have plenty of haul. Whew. And I'm already at 46 minutes, so let me try to speed this up a little bit. Sorry. Okay, WIP. My Sunday WIP is Sir Thomas of Glendon Place. I am stitching him with Justine of X's and Hoes and everybody else that wants to. Our hashtag is hashtag Sir Thomas of Glendon Place Sal. Anyone is welcome to join. When I'm not stitching Sir Thomas, he stays covered up by this lovely scroll rod cover made by Stitchery. And he's going to be loosey-goosey in here because I do not keep the tension on my roller frame when he's not being worked on. But here's where we are, and here's the progress I've made. And I wish, can you see the sparkle of that rainbow gallery? That is like a lot of petite lame, silk lame, or yeah, silk lame. Look at that. I love it. It's so fun. It's so fun. I love this needle minder by my friend Colleen too, Rebel Stitcher Designs. So me. Anyway, yay. I love this. I'm enjoying this. I stitch on this on Sunday afternoons after I finish my Garon Zoom. This is usually like my wind down, hang out with my husband, put my feet up, watch some TV. Just very relaxed, enjoyable stitch. I'm stitching him on the called for fabric, which is like a 28 count Joblin, so no pressure there, you know, it's nice and easy. He lives over here. So yeah, I love Sir Thomas. If you'd like to join us in stitching Sir Thomas, please join us. We would love to have you. All right, another WIP. All right, let's talk about 25/7. So Julie O'Connell, having a hard time today with names. She has a shop and a framing place called Reflections. She started a thing a while back called 25/7, and basically the idea is you do 25 stitches on a project 7 days a week, or like 25 minutes 7 days a week. So I've tried this before. I'm a repeat offender as far as trying and dropping out, but I do get some stitches in on this stuff when I try to do this. So my piece of choice for 25/7 the last couple weeks has been Peter Pan by RTM. I love this one. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Knight in Shining Armor by Seraphim, and this is where I've gotten. Yeah. So I think last time you saw, I had like these motifs done, and like this one and maybe this one, and I've done the rest since then, just like 30 minutes a day. But let's talk about this motif right here. I mean, it's pretty. In real life, it shimmers and shines. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. These are sales coming down. I've had some struggles with this piece. First of all, struggles the other day was I had to frog like on this stuff twice. I don't know how or where I got off, and anyway, it was a mess. So I spent a lot of time messing with that. But this took me days to do this motif, and there is not that many stitches in here. The reason why this took me days, do you see that? Is because it is stitched with something called DMC Light Effects. All right, it's pretty. It really is, but it is very difficult to stitch with. I'm gonna go so far as to say is if I run into another chart that calls for this particular floss again, I will just be subbing it automatically, whether I use a Kranich I have on hand or a Rainbow Gallery, because that it takes too long to deal with. I did a loop start because I needed the coverage for 2 strands, not just one. But do we see how it just, okay, say I get 1 strand. By the time I'm done stitching, like that 1 strand is like it splits. It splits, and it's just, you can't use very much of it. You have to use a really short length before it starts misbehaving, and it just kind of does this weird, and it has a mind of its own, and it just stands up and pokes out everywhere, and I had to use a needle threader, and I swear I thought I was gonna break my needle threader, but it's really pretty, and the result is really pretty, but it is not easy to work with, and it's enough to make me think I would not want to stitch anything more than this little tiny motif with it, and I won't again. So you've been warned from me about that stuff. You're welcome to try it on your own, but it's I don't think I use it anymore in this chart. I need to double check before I throw it out. Yeah, I love DMC. They have great floss, but that stuff is a nut. No. Okay, moving on from that. All right, another one I've been stitching on because I started this, I want to think 2020, January of 2020, January 1st with Pam of Just Keep Stitching. She started this stitch along hashtag Stitch for Freedom sale, and this is Leela's Studio Let Freedom Ring. Isn't it gorgeous? So I got a little start on it, and then last month, when my friend Ronnie of Gear on Tote Bags, he got his U.S. citizenship. I stitched on this in honor of him one night, and then Gary started stitching it. So now I'm stitching this with Gary. I cannot let Gary get ahead of me on this, okay? I feel like he's gonna get distracted by some Halloween stuff pretty soon. I'm not gonna really have to worry about it, but I have made some nice progress. That's where we are. This thing right around here, okay, this wreath situation, that took me like, I mean, granted, it was off and on, off and on. This took me like most of the day Saturday to get that done. I was like, what is going on? But the thing is because I wanted to have a finish, I like to page finish. Like, even when it's ridiculous, and it's ridiculous, right? Because why would you stop that? I mean, I don't want to say it's ridiculous because somebody else might do it. I don't want to hurt their feelings, but okay, it's interesting that, like, why would I stop that motif, right? Because that's the end of the page, and I like to do that because I leave my floss hanging, you know, unless I finish it. I leave it because I know I'm going to need it going down, but I like to literally see, like, okay, I finished page 1. Okay, I finished page 2. It's just me. It just does. I mean, and I don't do that on all of them, but I definitely do it on these, on some of them. So I wanted to get like a page finish on this one. I want to be like, I'm done with page 1. Okay. So you can clearly see, like, there's page 1, right? Except you can't, because right in this, are those words, are those over 1 words. So I really wanted to say I had completed page 1 finish, but until I do that over 1 stitching, I do not have a page 1 finish. And that over 1 stitching, I already did some of it and had to rip it all out, and that is hard. It is hard to rip out over 1 stitching in letters. Veronica from 901 Stitchers was telling me about a method you could do to where to make it be easier to rip it out, but basically, like, when it comes to letters, it's just hard. So I will be doing this over 1 stitching unless Gary would like me to send it down to him and help his friend out. I doubt he's gonna volunteer for that, but yeah, I'm gonna do that over 1 stitching, and then I'll move on to finishing up page 2 up here. But I love this color. It was a very cool color. I enjoyed it, even though I was getting tired of that same stitch. Which color was that called? It's not Endive. It's a Gentle Arts. It's Dried Time, and it's really pretty. It's very similar to Endive, but it's really pretty. I liked it. I like it. So this is an enjoyable stitch, and it's wormed its way back into my heart and back onto my radar, as they tend to do sometimes. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Not Another Sampler by Bestitch Me. Yeah, I love it. It's great. All right, another whip. Oh, I did. Okay, I'm excited about this one. So I remember I told you all on Dark 13 Stitching, I've been kind of doing Hawkward Hollow, and I hadn't gotten this one out in a while. Happy Haunts by Good Morning Maui. I love this one so much. This was one of those that, like, the very first day that I found this chart, like, I went right out and I kitted it all up. I went to my LNS and bought fabric, everything. So I got it out for Dark 13 Stitching, and here we are. Oh, I love this one so much. This is on a, I think it's a, I don't know if it's a 14 count or a 16 count. It's a graceful gray. And I finished this little dude, this grouchy little doom buggy dude. Isn't he cute? Oh. So I'm gonna work on this again on the 13th. I really want this one done, and I love it. It's so cute. And it makes me so happy to stitch on it. And so miss Disney World. But yeah, so I'm on this. I just started this row. I started in the middle and marked down. And then I saved these top two for last because they look like a lot of fun. But here we are. Happy Haunts by Good Morning Maui. Good Morning Maui is a really fun designer. I love this bag. So much to love. They are a really fun designer. Like pretty much a lot of fandoms, TV shows, movies, they have a chart for it. And they're really cute and really fun. Go check them out. You'll find them on Etsy. Okay, another whip. Sorry. Oh, this one. Woo, y'all. Remember this one from last time? Tree Bear by Sota Stitch, my Stitch Asia piece. Remember how I was looking at them going in the Q-snap going, there is no way I have enough. How did I mess this up so bad? Okay, I did not mess up. I have enough fabric. I mean, by the skin of my teeth, I have enough fabric, but see where my pin is? That's my margin. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But yay. I was very glad because this, I don't know, I'm not a fan of this fabric, but it really works for this chart, I feel like. So I was glad to not have to restart that big stocking because that's a big stocking. So I did get some more stitching. I finished up some of the blue and some of this darker blue, and I started on the rib of the stocking, and then I started the teddy bear's paw and part of his little cheeks. So I did like this area right here. Yeah, I'm loving it. I love the colors. I love the shading. This is a beautiful stitch to me. It's just fun. This is enjoyable. No pressure, low key, just relaxed, colorful, pretty stitching. I love it. I love it. Okay. What else did I do? Yesterday was May the 4th. So if you're a Star Wars fan, May the 4th be with you. I pulled out a chart that I started last May the 4th with my friend Sam of Sammie Liz. This was a wonderful treasure trove from Forbidden Fiber Co. last year, The Mandalorian. It was a great box. It had all sorts of really nice, fun stuff in it. And I have severely neglected this cutie. But I did get some stitches in. I believe this linen is Tumbleweed by Forbidden Fiber Co. It came in the box. There's where I am. And I was just doing some fill-in. I was doing it while I was waiting to see the doctor about my shoulder. And I didn't have any scissors, so I need to go back and clean that up. So I was just moving on. This was so fun. And I don't know if you saw if you follow me on Instagram, LeAnn of Forbidden Fiber Co. She posted a pre-orders for a new May the 4th box. It's not a box, sorry. It's a kit. So when she sells kits, they're super nice. They include the fabric, her floss, usually a needle minder, and they come in a bag and they have the chart. Sometimes they might have a little more than that, but basically it's like it's a cross stitch kit that has everything you need minus the needle to get you, and scissors, and minus those that you need to get you going. So these are my beautiful floss for this chart. I love them. And the cutest little jewelry there with a frog. Yeah. So that was fun. Enjoyed putting some little stitches in. This could be something easy for me to take to StitchCon. I'm on the lookout for things that are just going to be like fill in, low brain work. Because even though it would be fun to take something really pretty and let everybody maybe who doesn't stitch Mira's or whatever, you know, even though that'd be fun to take, I learned my lesson on that at Still Say Stitchers. I wanted to make some progress on Trick or Treat Fairy, and I took her with me, and I ended up having to frog a whole lot. So yeah, not the thing to take to a retreat for me anyway. I need to take something that doesn't take quite as much concentration, and just that I can do a little bit of autopilot stitching on. All right, another whip. is that really fun Outlander sampler that I started. I'll pop a picture up here because I don't have a good picture of it. But I have made some good progress on this, y'all. Here I am. It's in the Q snap because it's still being worked on as well. I think last time you saw it, I'd like sing me a song and this top border and part of the ship done. And I got all this done in this. And check out all that cool little Blackbird stuff around the F for Fraser. That was really fun to stitch, and I think it turned out really good. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Jamie's Kilt by Fabrics by Stephanie. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's perfect. It's perfect. I love it. Oops, sorry, I shook the camera there. I am very much enjoying this stitch and looking forward to getting some more in on this. I plan on doing that. Just like I said, I'm leaving it in the Q snap because it needs to be readily available. All right, what else do I have? One more whip. One more whip. So I'm just gonna, before I start talking about this whip, I'm just gonna start telling you about my May plans for Mirabilias. Lisa at Cross by Floss, she's doing Mira Mania. Catherine, Needleberry Stitcher. Winnie, are you on that thing again? I even got a new ring light situation and she's still laying by the pole. Okay, I hope I'm not crooked now. But it looks like it has moved. Winnie. Oh my word, y'all. Okay, sorry. So my Mira plans for May. Lisa at Cross by Floss is doing Mira Mania. Catherine Needleberry Stitcher, Mira Mania. We're all working on some Alexis, Amy, I can't speak words. Fiber Arts Amy, Maggie Kitschy WIPS doing Mira May. I'm doing Mira May. What I'm doing for mine is I had initially talked to Alexis and we planned on doing a new start, a whip, a new start, a whip with Mirabilias. And the idea is to focus on that for the week, which I am going to, but I'm also going to stitch on my other stuff too because it's just what makes me happy. So, but I ran into a little problem with my initial plan of a new start. So for this first week in May, instead of doing a new start, I'm doing a whip. And my whip has been this Christmas Eve. I'm stitching her with LeAnn of Forbidden Fiber Co. LeAnn Stitches, and we started her on Christmas Eve this past year. And my Miss Christmas Eve grew a neck and a head. She is no longer a scary floating torso. Yay! Like, she's still in the Q snap because she's going to get some more work this week. But there's nothing, you're not missing much. Like a little tiny bit of green. Whoa. Sorry. Thunder. And I made the doggo jump. Okay, Winnie, it's fine. Let's just get off of that. Let's get off the tripod, baby. Okay. All right. So yeah, and you can't see just a little bit of hand over here, but it's not covering up too much. I wanted to center her this way because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff coming out of the top of this head here. I want to have room to work on that. But yeah, look how good she's looking. I'm stitching her on a, I don't remember if this is 28 or 32 count. This is a custom die by Forbidden Fiber Co. Just for this piece. I love her. She is so pretty. Yes. So I plan to get some more stitching done on her this week. I want to show you some of her goodies just because while we're kind of spotlighting her since it's her week. So in addition to a ton of DMC, she has some really pretty Karen water lilies that we're going to use for her at some point. Aren't they nice? Yeah, so let's see. This one's grape. And this one, African violet. Ooh, that's good. This one is sable. That's beautiful. And this one is cardinal. So those are the Karen water lilies that we're going to use for her. Lilies. Why is that so hard to say, water lilies? And then, y'all, she has a whole bag of like pretty sparkles. I love them. And she's got like these, look at this fancy, like, let's see. You see that fancy teardrop one in there? Woo! So pretty. She's gonna be gorgeous. So yeah, so this is Miss Christmas Eve's week. I'm really enjoying her. Can't wait to show you what I get finished on her. All right. Those were all of my WIPs. Okay. Let's talk about my, oh no, let's do the giveaway. The giveaway was this really fun I'd Rather Be Buying cross stitch wallet that my friend Fawn of Sanctum Stitching, go check Sanctum Stitching FlossTube out, gave me. Isn't it great? I love my wallet so much. I'm obsessed with it. I've had it like a million years. I know I'll never use this wallet, but it is so good. Somebody had to have it. And the somebody who got it, I'm going to pop her name up right here, is Danny. Congratulations, Danny. Give me, if you're on Instagram, message me your address and I will pop this in the mail to you. Congratulations. Yes, thank you everyone for all of your fun comments. It was so fun to read what you would rather be doing. Super nice, super nice. So thanks again, Fawn. It was really, really sweet of you. All right, plans. So we have a baccalaureate, we have a graduation, I have lots of Zooms with my friends. We have a beach trip that we're gonna head down to Panama City in Florida. We love it. We go down every year. I hope we see all the stingrays again this year. That was the best thing last year. It was so cool. And we're going to take Winnie with us. Winnie is not going to go to the beach. You know, Winnie's a Shih Tzu with little bug eyes. And so I told my husband, if she goes to the beach, she would have to have like goggles on or something. Can you imagine if she got sand in her eyes? It would be terrible. So she's going to like keep us company in the hotel room. My husband unfortunately usually works some while we're on vacation, and he also burns really bad. So he's the kind of guy who like comes down for a while and goes back up and down and whatever. So she'll have lots of, it is a dog friendly place where we're staying. So Winnie's gonna go to the beach. And so I've been thinking about what I want to stitch while I'm at the beach. My friend Chi is going again. I don't know if you remember me talking about her last year, but she's gonna bring her cross stitch that I taught her how to cross stitch last year and work on that some more. She hasn't worked on it since, so this time she's gonna bring her own readers so we don't have to share. But I do have some other things I want to work on the rest of this month. Let's get back to Mira May. So like I said, so we're gonna change the order a little bit. Instead of WIP, what I say? New start, WIP, new start, WIP. We're going to go WIP, new start, WIP, new start. All right. Let me show you what I got. All right. So we had a WIP this week was Miss Christmas Eve. My new start next week is going to be Santa's Magic. I know I just showed him off a couple weeks ago. And I say that because my friend Alexis got him for me. And he's out of print and I want him really bad. Yeah. So I had a really hard time with fabric for him because a fat quarter is cutting it pretty close, but I'm just going to go with it because I was not happy with any of the other stuff that I found. LeAnn was sweet enough to bring me a piece of her fabric to the 901 Stitchers get together this week. And even though it was great, there's a really interesting part of this guy. So like his sleeve right here, none of that is stitched. It's all the color of the fabric. So the color of the fabric is important. And she had a beautiful like light color with like a bunch of different colors in it, just like very subtly modeled, and it really picked up some of these great, but it wasn't a good fit for his sleeve. And then my LNS, those sweet ladies, they found me the called for fabric, which was 32 count desert sand by Witchelt, and I bought it, but it just I couldn't go with it. I mean, everything worked on it. The colors all looked good on it. In fact, Bern Stitches, she's stitching it on it and hers looks great, but here's the problem. I already had another color in my mind, right? And you know how that goes, like when you get stuck on something and then you just can't find the right thing to replace it. And so I went back to what I had in my mind, and I'm just gonna cut my margins a little bit shorter than I wanted to, and I'm gonna go with it. So I'm gonna use this, and this is coming up a lot more yellow than it comes up in real life, but this is Hidden Treasure by Fiberlicious. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, y'all. So I'm gonna be starting him next week. He is amazing. So that'll be my Mira New Start. And then the week after that is my WIP. And so I'm going to work on Mermaid of the Pearls for that one. And then my very last start of the month, because I'm not going to start anything on that last Monday, because first of all, it's not a full week in May. And second of all, I'm going to be in sand. And I'm not doing the Mira in the sand. All right. So I'm very excited. This last one too, New Start. I'm going to start Fairy Flora. Fairy Flora came out in 1994, and she is MD number 7. So she is one of the early Miras. And I can say that because she has a ton, like 3 columns worth on the back of DMC. I mean, that's a lot of DMC for a Mira. And then her beads are pretty minimal. She's got 3 beads and then actually 1 more bugle bead. And then her Krynic is, it's 1 color of blending filament with a few different colors of DMC. So it's just, it's interesting to see how things changed, or changed along the way with Nora designing these. But isn't she gorgeous? Okay, I have to tell you a story about this. This fabric. This is quite the thing. All right, so I got this piece of fabric from the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa. It's Barnwood by Picture This Plus. I love it, okay? I was there with Carla Roladex Stitcher and Athena Stitching Goddess and Katie and Laura of Black Needle Society. All right, I had met them. I met them there and I just started talking to them, and I was looking at this and I was like, I love this fabric so much. And I'm like, what am I going to stitch on this? And then Sherry of the Stitchery Nook, she goes, well, Sarah, actually, this was for a Rosewood Manor piece. And the piece is, the name of it is escaping me, but it's the one with all the really pretty antique buttons on it, okay? And I was like, yeah, that's just not, and they had it. And then I was like, oh, it's just not really my style, but I really like this fabric. But what in the world am I going to put on this fabric, right? So I go shop some more, and I go sit down, and I'm sitting there and we're talking. We're sitting at a little table, and I go, gosh, y'all, I'm not sure about that fabric. Like, what would I do on it? Should I even buy it? And Carla Roladex Stitcher, now mind you, I'd known her like 30 minutes or something. She's like, girl, if you are still thinking about that fabric 10 minutes after you put it back, you need to buy that fabric. And I was like, oh, I really like you. Yes, you're right, I do. I totally do. So I bought it, not knowing what in the world I'm going to put on it, okay? And at the time, I didn't even notice, but it's kind of an interesting cut, right? Yeah, okay. So fast forward to this. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, what kind of fabric am I going to use for this? I was sort of thinking about, like, I like how it's kind of dark back there. I was thinking about, I have a really nice piece of Ancient Ruin by Fox and Rabbit. Maybe I'll do it on that. And then I'm reading the called for, and it says 32 count Barnwood linen by Witchell. And I'm like, Barnwood? I have Barnwood. So I go pull it out and I'm like, oh, okay, I have Barnwood. I have Picture This Plus Barnwood. It's not Witchell, but it's still called Barnwood, right? And like, I looked up the picture of the Witchell Barnwood, and I mean, this is much more modeled, but same kind of idea, right? So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, wow, this is like a strange size. And to make this even more interesting, when Guerin Designer Focus was Rosewood Manor that month, they had the chart that actually goes on this, and I almost bought it because I was like, I have that piece of fabric. I almost bought it, and they had the button pack for sale too, but the button pack, they're gorgeous buttons, right? They're beautiful, but the button pack's like 50 or 60 bucks, and I was like, do I like it that much? Like, I mean, like, it was like one of those moments where you're like, I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna pause on that. So I didn't go ahead and add to cart and buy, and I was just like, I'm just gonna wait a little bit on it. Okay, so fast forward to this again. I've got this out. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, whoa, I remember that piece. This fabric is cut for that Rosewood Manor chart. There's no way it's gonna fit a Mira. Look how long, y'all, it fits it. It fits it because this Mira goes like this. She's tall and skinny. Can you believe that? I mean, I was like, I checked it like 3 times. In fact, before I stitch it, I'm going to check it again. But I'm like, wow, she really fits on this. The design area is 8 inches wide and 20 inches tall. I love it. It was completely meant to be. I mean, isn't that so fun when stuff like that works out? Yeah, I love that. So I'm really excited to start this piece at the end of the month. Just because what a fun memory and like a cool meant to be sort of happening thing. Yeah, I love it when stuff like that happens. All right. Oh, sorry. Hold on just a second. I dropped something. All right. So that is going to take care of my Mira May. A few more plans for the rest of the month. My friend Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches, she has birthday this month, and she started a sal, Zan's Bee Day Sal. Zan loves bees, y'all. I'm gonna put it down here. So I'm not stitching exactly, like she's stitching a bunch of bee charts, and her and LeAnn found a chart that they're stitching together, like cottage garden samplings. So I just said, I'm gonna look at my, I told her, I'm gonna look at my stash and see what I have that has bees on it, because I'm not a super bee person. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't intentionally seek out bee charts. Her little, it's living in this cute So Much to Love bag with the bees inside. But I found I had a couple of them actually, and I settled for this one because, like I said, I had a couple, but this one more reminds me of Zan. So this is by Pedal Pusher, While Away the Hours, with the song from The Wizard of Oz on it. See that big happy bee in there. So I am going to start this month. I have not chosen my fabric yet. I've pulled my floss, and I did actually do a conversion because I didn't have everything, but I like what I've come up with. It's pretty. I did some Gentle Arts and Forbidden Fiber Co. and some DMC. But yeah, I'm excited to start that one. Celebrate Zan's B-Day. All right, my other two plans for the rest of the month is the second Blackbird that I have. It's a Whaley Ride. I started this with Alexis from Alexis My Amazing World. She has a FlossTube and Instagram. Check her out. I love this. This is a fun chart. All right, so a lot of this border is done in Garden Gate. And last year, I don't know about now, but last year Garden Gate was really hard to find. So my old pal LeAnn out there at Forbidden Fiber Co. I had a little bit of Garden Gate. And then I went and got two of hers, Garland and Oak Moss, and I'm doing a blend with them. And then a little bit of my leftover Garden Gate from another project. And I'm just being creative, and I've got a whole system down, and I'm making it work. I'm stitching this on a 30 count Prim Green by R&R. Let's see where we are. Sorry, she is not ironed. Yeah, so I'm on the border. Yeah, it's so pretty. So like all of this vines and all of that is supposed to be Garden Gate. So I'm just mixing it all up. But it's so pretty. This is a little needle minder. Back from when Autumn Lane Stitcher used to do the needle minders. It's Mary from Hocus Pocus. But yeah, I like this. Here's what I remember. I was having a really hard time getting in a groove with this border, and I even talked to Emily C of like Eclectic Possessions. I reached out and messaged her because she had recently finished this, and she said she had a hard time with that border too, just getting like in a groove with it. Like it was a challenge. Some things just click, you know, and sometimes they don't. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I actually have the sister chart to this one. I'm gonna stitch it on. Oh, what's the name of it? Something about when cocks crow or something like that. It's in the sister's book. I'm going to stitch it on, I believe, once I pull the colors and just make sure, I have enough of this R&R Prim Green that I'm going to stitch it on the other half. So they'll be matching. Matchy. I can hang them up by each other someday, right? All right, my last plan for the month is WIPGO. Did I talk about WIPGO already? So WIPGO numbers were pulled, and my WIPGO numbers were an autumn piece and a fancy folk piece. So my fancy folk piece that I'm doing for WIPGO is Mermaid of the Pearls. So I'm going to get some days in on that for sure. I might make my WIPGO goal this month. And then my other one is going to be my Autumn and Stars Hollow piece by Black Needle Society, because there's a retreat this summer for the summer and Stars Hollow, and I need to have it done. So I'll show you where I am with this. I haven't stitched on this forever, and I kind of made a mistake. So it's full coverage, but it's not a hard full coverage, and I did not need this magic grid that I'm doing this on. problem is that, you know how you wash these grid lines out? Some of this floss that I'm using is fancy floss. And even though I had a conversion, and I did of Forbidden Fiber Co. LeAnn did that conversion for me. You know, even though her stuff says Color Fast, I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily mean if I rinse this thing out that my colors are not going to go everywhere. If you go to Amy at Forbidden Fiber, not Forbidden Fiber, Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, and check her stuff out. She talks about, she did a tutorial, so nice of you, Amy, teaching us how to like rinse our floss and just to make sure that it doesn't bleed on our fabric. But I've already stitched with floss. I don't really know how I'm gonna handle this. I mean, I guess I could frame like right up to the edge and you wouldn't see that, or mat or something. I could put a mat up there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or I could very carefully, or I could go on and rinse the rest of it now without getting this area wet. And then very carefully go around here and see what I could do. That way if I messed up, I only messed up this one part. I don't know. Any thoughts about that? Whew. So anyway, I need to get some work done on that. Maybe I'll try to rinse the lines out first though. We'll see. I gotta think about that though. I gotta do some work on that. All right, those are my May plans. I have haul, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Haul. And I have a lot of haul. So, but I'm not going to do all the haul because, like I said, I have a lot of haul. I'm going to go over a couple, actually I want to go over these 2 Forbidden Fiber Co. boxes and kits that I got because I want to start working on them and I wanted to show them first. First, I got a little cat hair here. The first kit I got was the Viscount kit. Isn't this a fabulous bag? Lady Whistledown Society papers. This is based on the Bridgerton show on Netflix. Season 2 just came out. It was great. LeAnn's fabric, her chart is great. I look forward to stitching that. I think it's so cute. She's even got the dog in there. Beautiful fabric parliament. Beautiful finishing. Fabric and lace. A very sweet bookmark that has a quote from Kate and a quote from Anthony. A little needle minder by Twin Mommy Creations. I like that she adds this little wisteria in here. Whoops, except it's stuck in my my skein of confession. That's a good name. Okay, I don't want to deal with that right now. All right. Got some really pretty floss from LeAnn. Gorgeous. Good names. Loquacious, Masquerade, Meddlesome, Melodramatic, Tenacity, The Duke, and Viscount. Ooh, very pretty. And Confession. I love that. So, great little project bag. That'll be a fun one to stitch. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, the next, look at this pretty little pull on that bag. All right, the next, I got this box. This is cool. Yellowstone. Any Yellowstone fans out there? My husband is a huge Yellowstone fan, so I'm gonna stitch this for him. Got a good bag. Some really, really pretty colors. Let's see, we've got Inkwell, Goldfinch, Viscount, Winter Wheat, Christmas Ivy. Yeah, those are pretty. Got a cool keychain, Yellowstone keychain. My husband really likes this. You got like a little bottle koozie. Some playing cards. This is Palomino, 36 count Palomino. Just a little what's inside. Field book. Sunflower seeds. Orange brandy chapstick, which I love that. This is cute. This little bag here. Don't make me send Rip. Yes, because Rip's the best. Look at that. I love it. And I'm saving the best for last. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this chart is great. And so I'm gonna stitch this for my husband. He can have it at work. It's so great. If you can't read it, it says there's sharks and minnows in this world. If you don't know which one you are, you ain't a shark. That's great. And that's Rip. He's one of the characters of Yellowstone. What a great little box. That was so fun to get. I was so just happy, impressed, excited with it. Looking forward to stitching that one too for my husband. Her next one coming out is a gamer box. I don't know if you can get that QR code off of my, try it, go for it. I love Pac-Man. I didn't get this box because I'm not a huge gamer. I have nostalgia for like Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to show you just a few things. I got my new, it's the 5th, I can show it. I got my new Bag of the Month from Garon Toting Bags. I love it. I'm not even that much of a bee person, and it's just so good. Look, with those flowers like that. This is a gorgeous. Look inside, honeycomb. I mean, it looks like honey everywhere. This is a really good one. Such a nice thing to get every month. I want to show you something I got off eBay. Okay. So last year when I went stitching at the beach, I really had a great time. In fact, I'm going to take some of the same pieces. There was a Kathy Barrick piece that I started while I was down there, and I'm going to take that one down there and a few more. But sometimes concentrating and counting was hard. Not in the morning, but kind of like as the afternoon wore on, the sun got more. I mean, I am a go down to the beach at 6 a.m., go back up to the room at 6 p.m. and go to dinner sort of girl, okay? So I bought one of these Joy Sunday kits off eBay. So the thing about these, I remembered hearing about them. It is so wild, y'all. You don't have to count, all right? Like, you just match the colors and stitch. And to me, that's a very appealing while you're at the beach. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first looked at this canvas, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Because it's a colored canvas, and they're not colored in the right colors. Like, it's printed canvas, but you know, like, have you ever seen a needlepoint where it's like hand painted or printed, and it looks like what your picture's going to look like? This does not, because the colors of this are not this. So, here we are. Oop, I don't know if I can show that or not. Well, but I don't know how you could copy this. It is a crazy time, but you get the idea, right? It's crazy. Okay, so here's all the floss. Wow. And this floss is wild. I do not know what it is, but it is so soft and silky. Like, it's definitely not, it doesn't feel like all cotton. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It looks like fun. It's worth a try. I'm kind of excited about it because, wow. I mean, like, this is the sky. That's the sky. I don't know. Have any of y'all ever done one of these? I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? I got it for a very, I mean, not a bad price on eBay. Yeah. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Or if you just can't wait to see what the heck it turns out looking like or doing. I don't, it's on an Ada. I don't think it's 14. It might be 16. Because that seems like really easy to stitch at the beach. Except for all that floss. That's a lot of floss. We'll see. I'll let you know how it works out. Okay. I think the rest of what I want to talk about this a little bit. Have time to talk about this? I'll talk about this next time. I want to show you this fabric. My fabric's been building up, but I might want to use some of it. So I want to go through my fabric real quick, and then I'll get off here, and I'll catch you up on some of the other stuff next month. Okay, or in the next couple weeks. All right, so I got this really pretty piece of Waterfall by LeAnn Forbidden Fiber Co. I got this because I was thinking about maybe stitching a mermaid on it. I was thinking about maybe doing Mermaid of the Pearls on it. But the thing was, is I really wanted the pearls to pop. And it's too late for the pearls to pop, but it might be really good for another mermaid. So I'm excited to have that as an option for a future mermaid. Another one that I got with the option for a future mermaid is Shannon Bromo. You can follow her. She's the Sota Stitcher, S-O-T-A Stitcher. She's on FlossTube, and she's also Shannon Bromo on Instagram. She had a D-stash, and she D-stashed this piece of 32 count Valkyrie by Be Stitch Me. And I thought that might be fun for a mermaid. Yeah. So, thanks, Shannon. I got that one. And then I'm always poking around at my my LNS, always looking at the fabric. And I've been sort of into yellow fabric lately. So I found this really pretty color of Willow by Picture This Plus. I don't know what it's for, but I might need it for something. And then what else do I have? My fabric of the month, my cinnamon, it should have been cinnamon from Be Stitch Me. It is gone missing. The USPS has struck again. And I have a casualty again. And they closed my case and said they'd look for it. So there's that. All right, this is my fabric of the month, Fiberlicious Queen Crepe Myrtle. Ooh, it's so pretty, y'all. Really pretty. My Brandy Be Stitch Me fabric of the month for this month. So if you are April, so if you haven't gotten April's yet, look away. I do the mix back and forth. It was color this time, so I got Rainy Day. I really like this one. That's got mermaid potential too. And then, oop, I got another piece of, I had a Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric of the month, Red Clay. That's really pretty. It's not that, whew. It is more, you can see the modeling, but not like that. It's pretty. It's pretty. Okay, then I made an order from LeAnn Stitchery of some fabric. Let's see. I had a really pretty piece of fabric by Stephanie Changeling. I love this. I do not know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's going to be something beautiful because isn't that pretty? I really like that. I really like that. I really like fabrics by Stephanie. I really love the colors. They are definitely my speed. All right, this one I thought was so fun. This is by Needle Bling Designs, okay? And Gary of Garon Stitcher, his favorite color is green. And so this one is a Garon Green, which, this is pretty. I love this. Very good. And I also picked up a piece of Picture This Plus Heroic from that order. This is a cool piece of fabric. I sort of thought about doing Adia the Garden Fairy on it. Maybe. Or I might do it on that Garon. I don't know. Something pretty is going on this. And then last but not least, we were talking in the Zoom, and so I have an ink circles chart called Dog Pile. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. I'll put a little picture up of it. It's really cute, but it's like long. And when I was looking to kit it up one time, I'm like, what kind of piece of fabric do I get for that? So actually there's this banding that you use for it. Yeah, in the picture it looks much more grungy, so I think Gary was saying he doesn't know if maybe they like coffee tea dyed it or something, which that would be an adventure for me, but I bought the banding because I want to stitch that dog pile at some point. Oh my gosh, y'all. What else? No, I'm not going to do any more today. Everything else is fine. It can wait. It can wait to another day because I am, an hour and a half. Because, you know, I waited a long time again. I wanted to show y'all I've still been doing a good job on my book of days. I finished off April full of stuff. I love this. This really helps me not miss things when I prepare for my FlossTubes. And then I'm working on May. I've got it all beach and ocean themed. I love it. So, gosh, thanks. I feel like I'm missing something. I probably am. Thanks for coming to watch. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. I missed my 1-year Flossiversary. It was like in March. So I've just been doing this over a year now. I really enjoy it. I enjoy your comments. I enjoy the interactions. it's great. It's great. So thank you for coming and watching, for liking, subscribing, all of the things. I really appreciate you all. Yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks, and take care. Get lots of stitching done. Bye.